Hey everyone, and welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Camilla, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Canvas Big Box. I guess it's not an expansion; it's just a big box. The Canvas Big Box Storage Solution. So Canvas is a game that I really enjoy, and it has 2 expansions with it, each of which needs to have its own box because they all have a specific size, and you can't fit everything in one. So that is what this big box is supposed to do. I really enjoy both of these expansions. I think they fit very well into the base game for the actual playing of the game, but it is really frustrating to not have one solution to bring it all together, and it's hard. It gets just, I guess, cumbersome to always separate that out and then have one box that's overstuffed, one that doesn't have enough stuff in it. So I'm really hoping that this box is going to kind of remove that barrier of getting the game with the expansions to the table. It promises a new rule book that has everything all in one place. And let's just, before we go too much into kind of my thoughts though, let's take a look at it, more of an unboxing kind of look to see what comes in this, and then I'll talk about what I think of it. This is going to be more of an unboxing than it is an actual overview because there is no game content in this. It is really just a storage solution for a Canvas-based game and its 2 expansions. First thing you'll notice here is it is indeed large, but still manageable. Comes with a sleeve, and that is because on the 2 sides that the sleeves cover, it has a bunch of drawers. We'll take a look at each of these one at a time. We have a drawer here for the board. So that the board and the combined rule book will go in there, which it comes with the rule book as well. Already in there. There we go. So we get 2 separate papers here. We have a setup guide, which it says to hand to somebody else to have them set it up while you are reading the rule book. Now this is a combined rule book, so it's going to be for everything all together presented as if it is one game, not a game with 2 expansions in it. So it presents it all together here. And it is pretty short. That is the game end there on page 9. And then it goes into the different variants. So your solo puzzle, your Vincent, and then your kind of index here, or your icon reference guide, I guess they're calling it, and the additional variants that come in the expansions as well. Now to note here, on the very last page is the storage guide. That's going to go through how to set it up. But this is in the back of the rulebook. Hopefully you find that quicker than I did. And then you'll see each of the drawers as well are going to be have an icon on them to show you exactly what go in it. Any of these split ones here will have a split drawer. And then you have your cards here that'll go into here. And it comes with these spacers if you need them. And on the other side, we have other stuff as well. This here is where your play mat's gonna go. And then here in this box for all the cards and the variants, we're actually going to get some dividers. So we have the dividers for all the different variants and things that you can do with it. So that being said, let's switch gears here and we will look at it all filled. And here we go. So I already have the sleeve off, just so we can get in there, and you'll see now when I pull out the board, the rule book does come pretty easy out of it. One thing I do like to do is to keep that setup guide in the rule book, just to kind of protect it a little bit more. And I can even, oops, forgot the board, I can even turn it on its side. Let's see what that did though. Aha! It worked! Oh. That is nice. Oh, and then the little boxes as well. So everything's still nice and in its space, even though I have turned this on its side a couple times now. And you can see here, with everything in here, this is a pretty tight fit. I have not sleeved everything though. So that stuff there are still the extra sleeves in there as well, but that is a very nice organized fit. Oops, a little tight on that one. And this is going to be your score pad and your frame if you're playing with that expansion. So one thing I want to show real quick is just putting the sleeve back on, because that is something I am going to talk about. The two sides of it are reversible, so you can choose the picture and the background that you like better, but you do need to make sure that the actual covered part here does go over the drawers. So you will just put that in. Something like this. Watch me struggle. Luckily, we can put this on its side. There we go. Canvas big box. All right, off the bat, I want to talk about just the actual production of the big box, and I think it is very, very good. There you saw me putting the sleeve on at the end. That is the easiest time I've ever had getting the sleeve on. The first couple times, it's kind of tricky to really manage and feel like it slips on very well. But luckily there at the end, I think I kind of figured out the way to do it, which is to put it on a little bit and then stand it up on its side. I do find the board a little bit difficult to get in and out. I'm always a little concerned that it is going to bend the rule book, so you just have to be careful with that one. But with that production, I will give it a huge shout out that you can turn this box every which way. I had it in the back seat of my car the other day, and I had to stop quite suddenly because an adorable little bunny tried to cut me off, and I didn't want to hit him. So I slammed on my brakes embarrassingly hard and might have squealed a little bit. But the Canvas big box kept all the components just fine. So it did come forward and hit the seat, but it was safe, and none of the components went anywhere, and the bunny survived. So everyone came out a winner in this situation. So kudos to them for the box being able to be stored horizontally, be stored vertically, being transportable, and all the components stay where they're supposed to be. So let's talk about the rule book now, because that's the other thing I was really excited about, is having one place for all the rules. It very much threw me off at first. I find that there's a little bit of conflict here on who the audience is for this. I like the idea of here's the setup, you set up while I read the rules. But when I'm learning games, I like to do the setup myself, because then as I'm reading the rules, I already have that point of reference for all the different icons and components. So to have somebody else do setup, I didn't love that. I also kind of went through a journey here with how the rulebook is presented. It assumes you've never played before. It starts out with a very general welcome to Canvas kind of overview, telling you what you're going to do in the game very large or kind of globally, and then it goes down specifically to on your turn. And so I think that that is a really nice way to do it and an entry point to get into the game. But if you're getting this big box, you've probably already played a lot, so it seemed a little bit misplaced. Luckily, I just jumped into it really quickly, and then once I went through, I kept finding myself looking for right, but where's the expansion material? Where's the expansion material? It doesn't even tell you how to play the expansions. It's because it integrates it so smoothly into the actual gameplay. If you read just the first 9 pages of this book where it goes through gameplay, you would not know that you're playing a game with 2 expansions. And I think that that is very approachable. I was really happy with that at the end of the day, that it just presents it in a package where I feel like I can sit down and play this game with all the information. I also feel like I could sit down and teach it to somebody with all the expansions in it. They wouldn't even realize that expansions are included. That is so clever and so very well done. I think it is a huge positive for this once I kind of got over that expectation of what this rule book was going to be. I think really the only drawback to the gameplay here is if you don't want to play with the expansions, for some reason there's one you don't like or something like that, it's not really easy to take that out. All the cards are mixed together. They're not separated by the expansion or anything like that. So that's really a matter of just knowing your play style and how you're going to play this game, if that's a positive or negative. So ultimately, I think that this is a very, very good storage solution for Canvas. If you are somebody who plays with both expansions all the time, then this kind of seems like a no-brainer. It absolutely is going to help the game get to the table quicker and more smoothly, and ultimately kind of ease that entry point of teaching the game as well, because I'm just pulling out one box to show somebody, not 3 boxes, and pulling the parts that I want. It just feels like you're setting up a very kind of lightweight game. And that's what this should be. So it's a very pleasing experience that helps get to the table. So for me, it's absolutely a recommendation and pretty close to a must-have if you like Canvas and the expansions. So if you're interested in that, be sure to check it out. This is for the Canvas Big Box. Thanks for joining me here at the Dice Tower. We'll see you next time.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.